feel like you can't be yourself? Like you have to become someone else or be in a role in order to get approval and make it through life? Our fears of getting judged, rejected, and disapproved of can be very powerful. And this keeps us suppressing ourselves, which creates a life of dissatisfaction, unhappiness, depression, and unfulfillment. Suppressing your true identity can lead to feelings of sadness and hopelessness, low self esteem, and low self worth because you never feel like you can express your real self and be valued for who you really are. And today I'm going to talk about a few ways that you can start becoming your authentic self instead of playing a role in your life or being who you think you're supposed to be. So the fulfillment and satisfaction and just joy that I feel every day for being myself is so priceless and so amazing that it's well worth the hard work and the effort to start living and becoming your authentic self. So I want you to think of your life like a movie. How are you showing up day after day? And are you playing a supportive role or are you playing the lead role in your own life? So the supporting role, you're only there to make the lead role look good and you never get the time to shine. You're stuck playing the insignificant, invisible person in the background, trying not to take up too much space or not to upset anyone. I've experienced the pain of being in a role and not knowing how to get out of it. And life just feels so meaningless and empty and insignificant being someone you're not or feeling like you have to play a role. It has been very challenging for me to live my life as my authentic, real self, not who I needed to be to get approval and avoid judgment and rejection. And I've struggled with perfectionism and people pleasing. So this was very challenging for me. And we only get one life. So can you say right now that you want to continue to live your life in the role that you've been in so far? Is it really creating satisfaction and happiness and you just feel good every day? If it's not, then you may want to take a look at it. And that's what we're going to be doing. And it's not worth the cost. Living your life to make everyone happy, to get their approval and validation is costing you so much. And it's 100% worth it to risk getting rejected and disapproval in order to be your authentic self because what you're doing is you're raising the standards in your life when you start being yourself and people who don't like that then you can show them the door. So it shows you who is really there for you and who really cares about you when you start living your life as your real self instead of just trying to make everyone happy and get approval from others. And breaking out of this role for me, which was perfectionism and people pleasing, was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it was so, so worth it. And I believe 100% that doing the work of finding and being and living your life as your authentic, true self is the biggest act of self love that you could ever do for yourself. We have to learn to live our lives the way we want, not the way we were taught we were supposed to be or think we should be. When you realize that you have been playing small and not showing up as the real you, and maybe that's being invisible or letting people walk all over you or just not living your life the way you want to live it. Don't beat yourself up. We can't grow with every time we learn something new about ourselves, we feel shame and start beating ourselves up. So be very curious and come from a place of love and compassion. If you find your thoughts tend to get critical and harsh, then say this to yourself as many times as needed. I'm doing the very best that I can. My next point is understand the role that you've been playing and how it has been affecting the life that you've been having so far. So once you can see the role and how it's been playing out, then you can start waking up to your pattern. And waking up to the pattern creates a transformation all on its own. It's literally like 90% of the problem is actually noticing the pattern and waking up to the pattern. It's like you're asleep in your life. I would describe this as seeing color for the first time. You're living your life just trying to survive, just trying to make it day after day after day, right? This is what I would call survival. And when you live like that, your life is in black and white. It's unsatisfying, it's depressing, it's sad, it's lonely. You can't truly connect with anyone because you're so afraid about getting rejected or disapproval. Then we're living our lives how we think we're supposed to be instead of who we truly are. And it just creates so much unhappiness and dissatisfaction. So when you can wake up to how you've been living your life and how you've been showing up, that is literally solves the majority of the problem right there. So journal and take as long as it takes to write down exactly how you think, how you talk, how you act, and the choices you make every day that keep that pattern repeating itself. What decisions and choices have you been making every single day that keep you stuck in that pattern and role of acting and being someone you're not? You will always fail at being somebody you're not. Doing these things I'm sharing with you has been very challenging. I faced a lot of opposition. I came to a place where I couldn't stand living my life not being my authentic self. It was so opposite of my nature that living in that way of avoiding rejection and just trying to get approval from others was so opposing to who I am as a person that it created so much dissatisfaction and unhappiness and unfulfillment because I couldn't express myself. I felt constantly suppressed and having an inner war with myself. Should I say this? Should I do this? How should I go about doing this? And I just couldn't be me. I had to reach a point when I was like, enough is enough. And the pain from suppressing myself and being inauthentic became bigger than my need to avoid judgment and rejection. I went from feeling so suppressed, like I wanted to just scream, to feel completely free, to being myself. And I can't describe to you the feeling. It's this priceless, powerful, amazing feeling. Like I was saying, like seeing color for the first time. It is that powerful and amazing. And it's foundational to living a happy life. And if you're liking this, then click that thumbs up and comment down below real. I want to know that this information is resonating with you guys. So, my next point is do the opposite of the role that you've been in. So, if you were taught to hide your opinions and not share them, start sharing them. If you're taught to hide your feelings and pretend nothing's bothering you, then start letting feelings actually show up on your face. So, whatever you're conditioned to do, or whatever you think the right way is that you realize is a role, start doing the opposite. Be a rebel. Start rebelling against the conditioning you've had out in the world or as a kid so you can start to free yourself and become your authentic self. And if you were taught that you needed outside approval in order to make important decisions, you can give yourself permission. No, I'm going to start living my life the way I want to live it. And I want you to know this process is scary as hell. It is so scary. And this is going to be very uncomfortable. Your whole mind and body might be screaming at you to do what you're used to do, but don't do it. Embrace the feelings of being uncomfortable and give yourself a few months to a year to really start living and embracing who you really are, not who you've been up until now. And give yourself some grace because you just were really doing the best you could. And let me tell you the freedom that you will feel. And I cannot emphasize this enough. It has truly been pivotal in my life to be my authentic self. And my next point is you have to choose yourself again and again and again. You have to wake up every single day and value yourself over others. You have to value yourself more than what other people think of you, more than getting outside approval. And you have to let go and stop caring about what other people think of you and start valuing more what you think and feel about you and getting your own approval. So before this may be getting other people's approval and what they think about you and feel about you, and you were down here. So you need to raise it up higher. So what you think, feel, and believe about yourself is more important than what they are thinking about you. Is this making sense? And then when you can do that and wake up every day and make the decision, no, I am living as the real me. And think about in stages. The first stage is just really bringing the energy of you and being who you really are. Because you can think your thoughts and feel your feelings and give yourself approval on the inside. And the next stage can be to start sharing them little by little. And then it progresses from there. But think baby steps. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't think, oh my God, this is too hard. I'll never be able to do this. Don't start that stinking thinking. And instead, think of little baby steps that you can start to move forward of the goal of becoming your authentic self because it's definitely a challenge. And what you're doing is you're training yourself to focus on yourself. When you're choosing yourself and you're choosing to value what you think and feel above what other people think and feel, you're focusing on yourself. So this whole video came about because I saw an 80s song called Voices Carry. And I would encourage you to watch that video and put on the captions to actually see the words. And you can see in the video, she's actually starting to become her authentic self and watch what happens. That video actually inspired me to do this video. And I heard the song before, but I'm not much of an 80s fan. But when I chose to listen to the lyrics, it made me feel very emotional and tear up because it's brought me back to the feelings and all the hard work I did to live my life as my authentic self versus what I was conditioned to be as a child. And my last point is own who you are. Your weirdness, your uniqueness is what makes you an individual and what makes you cool. When you start living your life the way you want to live it and start being yourself, people won't like that. That's their problem. Choose not to care. You have to let go of the want and need to be liked and approved of in order to do this whole process. This is your life. You don't need to justify, explain, or defend being who you are. You just are who you are. And when people have a problem with it, don't take it personal. They're just doing to you what has been done to them. Feel sorry for them. How they are reacting to you being your authentic self and living your life the way you want to live it is their problem. My graduate teacher said that how people act is a reflection of who they are, not who you are. So don't take it personal. In your head, I want you to ask yourself, what's more important, me or them? Because when you're putting their approval and them liking you ahead of your approval and liking yourself, you're choosing them. And if you want me to do another video on this, on how to start becoming your authentic self and using your voice and speaking up for yourself, let me know down in the comments. These realizations been so powerful for me on my journey, and just give yourself the time in order to do this. It's not an overnight thing. It's going to take time to really notice your thoughts and notice how you're getting on your own way and notice the patterns. And then in the moment, make different choices. And if you want to start learning how to find real happiness, then check out the guide I have below. It's going to show you how you can start transforming your life and becoming happier right now, no matter what's going on in your life.